So, greetings to all of you, and thank you for joining us for this intro session about how to experience joy this holiday season. What an important topic for all of us. So, I want to give you a little background. Danelle came to me and said, "Hey, let's help women during the holiday season have joy." And so she sent me the material and I read it and I said, "Yes, let's do it." So, we are here together. Danelle is a certified life coach and part of the ICM team, and we are teaming up to help you experience joy, true joy, this holiday season. So it's joy in discovering and deepening your connection with God, joy in understanding your purpose in this season, in these next few weeks. How can you live out your purpose? And then joy in sharing meaningful relationships with others, not just get togethers. How can we have joy in meaningful connections and relationships over this holiday season? So let's dig in together. Danelle, tell us all about how we can have joy this holiday season.
So, holiday joy, going through this plan with Michelle or I is going to take you through the rhythm of joy. So, joy has a rhythm to it. And when I think of this rhythm, I think of Christmas carols that are joyful, that have a rhythm. And we're going to walk through with you to discover that rhythm of joy through understanding, experiencing, sharing, and receiving joy this holiday season. So, this coaching plan is to help you experience this meaningful, as Michelle was saying, they're a meaningful, right? So sometimes we get through the holiday season and we're like, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. It didn't seem
Right.
meaningful. So this helps you become more intentional to for it to be meaningful and joyful by staying aligned with what matters most to you as you grow in your understanding of joy for the holiday season. Now, here's a little secret. This goes beyond the holiday season. So it's going to be helpful for the
Yeah.
holiday season, but it's what you can continue to carry with you beyond the holiday season of taking that joy with you through all of the seasons.
Yes, I love that.
Okay, let's start with understanding what joy means for you this season. So this is going to begin to help with understanding joy, identifying what you want this holiday season to represent.
Okay, so I wore my Christmas sweater on purpose for this recording, and I bought it as an ugly Christmas sweater. And then people started telling me, "Oh, I just love your sweater." And I'm like, that's so interesting. But it relates to what we're talking about today, that sometimes that I think are ugly, other people go, "That was great." And so we have to be really careful with looking at whether something was good or bad. Joy is something we get to choose individually, that's not dependent on other people and what they think. So let me give you some examples. I recently went through divorce about 4 years ago, and holidays really changed through that. And so instead of focusing on what I didn't have or what I lost, because hard times, and maybe you're going through a hard season, hard times make it hard sometimes to experience joy. And so what I did was a few simple things. I said, you know what? My kids may not be here Christmas morning. I'm separated from family right now, but how can I find joy? So one thing that I did was I found an Advent online, printed it out, and every night I would light this little votive candle, little bitty thing. And then I started going to the Dollar Tree, and then I got 3 or 4 candles. And every week I would add another candle, and I would light my candles every night, read my devotion, and experience joy. That lighting that little $1 candle brought me joy. And I did it every night. That's how I ended the day. And then the other thing that I did was, okay, holidays are different, and I don't have my family here on Christmas morning. And so the first year, I made little goodie bags and I dropped them off on some people's porches that I knew would be alone on Christmas morning, and I was too chicken to actually interact with them. So I just dropped it on the porch, and then I texted them, "Hey, I left something on your porch. Merry Christmas." And then that went really well. And so the next year I thought, okay, I'm going to go the next step. And I invited a couple women who were also alone Christmas morning, come over for Christmas brunch. So before my family got there for lunch, I did Christmas brunch with a couple friends, and we found joy. In the midst of hard things, we found joy. But I had to create the joy and not expect other people to be part of my joy or for it to be dependent on them or what they're doing. That was really important because I realized my anticipation of the holidays and my perfect Christmas in my mind actually turned into expectations. And then I was disappointed. And so to counteract that, it was how can I create joy that cannot be taken because of anybody else, what they do or don't do? So
Joy had to
powerful stuff.
become personal.
Yes. Yes.
That is so good, Michelle. And I love how you pulled others in with you that
Mhm.
may have been experienced the lack of joy during that season as and that is beautiful. So joy then was beyond you. It was about others as well
Yeah.
and
Connecting
sharing
with
that
God,
experience with them
connecting with others. Yeah. Yeah. And I
and
found
connecting
joy.
with the purpose of joy.
That's so good. Yes.
So what I would like to encourage you, those that are watching this video, is to first to just slow down, pause, and just take a deep breath, and then take a moment and reflect on what do I want this holiday season to feel like? Not what you want it to look like,
Hmm.
because then we can get into the perfect holiday expectation trap,
Yeah.
but just first focus on what do you want this holiday season to feel like personally, not what others will make you feel, but personally. So start there, taking that moment to reflect on that.
Yeah. That's a powerful first step. Yeah.
Yes. So
And then,
journal it.
yeah.
However that works for you, journal it. I know some people that would rather paint it or
Mm.
draw it.
Mhm.
So
Or sing it.
whatever, or sing it, the rhythm of joy. So reflect on that in the way that works best for you. Now, to get started, let's understand joy. Let's get some clarity on joy. So, in a simple definition, joy is awareness. But joy is awareness and noticing what's good in everyday life, even when life isn't perfect. Just as you shared, life wasn't perfect, but it was still noticeable good in everyday life, to see those moments of peace and
Yeah.
kindness and hope that otherwise might go unnoticed or that or we rush by, right? We just rush,
Yes.
slow down and see those moments. And
Yeah.
then for Christians, joy is the awareness as well, but joy is the awareness of God's grace in everyday life, even when life isn't perfect.
Yeah. Or even, I would say, especially when life isn't perfect. That's when we find joy in the unexpected, and it just comes because we haven't said it has to be like this for me to be joyful. We allow joy to just come.
So let's look at the neuroscience of joy. Now, I love looking at how science connects with faith. It
Yeah.
just confirms what we already know, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at this. So studies have found that our brains are wired to find joy and through awareness and reflection. So it's designed that way. We're designed to find joy through awareness and reflection. Studies in neuroscience also show that attention towards positive experiences activates a region linked with joy and contentment. So when we notice what is good, when our attention is
Mm,
towards the positive experience, it's activating this part in our brain that is linked with joy and contentment.
yeah.
But we know what that link is, Michelle.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I love that you said our brains are wired to find joy. And that's because we're made in the image of God. And He has joy. He has love. He is peace. That's who He is. And we are made to be joyful. And so that's why we're wired that way. And that's why we keep looking for it, because we were designed to be joyful, like God.
It's already there.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not something we have to produce. It was already there.
That is so freeing and encouraging. We do not have to produce joy. It's already there. We just need to find it and let it bubble up.
Notice it.
Yeah. Be
Notice it.
aware. Yeah.
Awareness. When we notice what's good, even those small things, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin. Those are feel
Yes,
good
we want
things,
them.
right? This creates a reinforcing cycle of well-being and calm. So
Hmm.
joy brings calm.
Hmm. Love that.
So this is why that awareness, even in the imperfection, helps people feel more joy.
Right. Yeah.
Science-based.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can feel joy even when chaos is happening, and you can choose joy.
Now, we know the holiday blues can follow at the end of the holidays. So after the holidays, we can still find and experience the joy. So joy is a lifestyle. It doesn't end with the holidays. This is something that can continue beyond the holidays.
A lifestyle of joy. I love that. And like we said earlier, we don't produce it. It is with connection with God. That's how we get joy. So let's talk a little bit about what joy looks like in the Bible. So when God talks about joy, what is he talking about? So in the Greek, the word is kairo, and it means to extend favor, to be favorably disposed, to be aware, as we've been talking about, God's grace, favor, and joy. It is grace recognized. I love that. So here's the real simple definition of the word kairo, which means joy. And it is the experience of gladness. The experience that I experience it. And how do we experience things? We experience them through what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we feel. And so joy can be experienced. It is the experience of gladness. Such a powerful word.
Very powerful.
Yeah. And I love that we talk about the joy rhythms. That, let's be clear, joy is something given by the Father, we experience, and then we give it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love this definition from the Bible, from the Greek, because it expands so much more on a very small word.
Mm,
And it still comes back to awareness. It's
hmm.
awareness of God's grace. It's recognizing God's grace. And as we've said, it's a spirit given. It's spirit given delight. The experience of gladness. It's so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And John 15:11, Jesus is talking, and he says, I've told you these things so that my joy might be in you and your joy may be complete.
That his joy is in us.
Yeah.
So our joy is complete. So that goes back to we don't produce it.
Yeah. It's that partnership. God gives us joy, and I choose to grab a hold of it. So God's extending it, and I go, yep, I want it. That's how we experience joy.
And he's saying it's in you. My joy is in you. It's already there.
Yes. Yes. That's really beautiful. Love that. Yes. Give us another scripture, Danelle.
So there's many scriptures in the Bible with joy. These are just a couple of them. I do encourage you to spend some time discovering joy with God in the Bible for yourself. And a great place to start for this holiday season is the birth of Jesus, right? And it says in Luke 2:10, I bring you good news of great joy.
Yes, yes, God is announcing the birth of Jesus, and it is joy. And he's announcing it with angels and shepherds, and he brings the wise men. And when God throws a party, it's a party. It's great joy.
I, I like those parties. Those are
Yes,
joyful parties.
yes.
And then James 1:2. So this is a little more personal to me. There was a season that was a hard season for me, and my friends kept sending me this verse for encouragement. And it's count it all joy when you encounter various trials, or some versions say consider it all joy when you encounter various trials.
Oh,
Now,
yikes.
the this irritated me.
Yes, yes.
So, how am I supposed to have joy or be joyful in this hard season? Like, it was irritating me and I kept pushing it away. And then God said, hey, look at that word joy. Look a little closer. So I did. I dug into it. And that's where I discovered joy was recognizing God's grace.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do that in this hard season. I can look for his grace. I can recognize it. And so what I decided to do was that part where it says, count it all joy. I went back through this hard season and looked for his grace, and I counted that. I journaled it down and listed joy,
Mhm.
recognizing his grace in this hard season. And it changed that verse for
Yeah,
me.
yeah. And I love the intentionality of you went, you wrote it down, you literally counted it. And when we
Yes.
will take the effort and the time to do that, joy will begin to rise and grow, and it's fed, right? We have to feed joy. If you starve joy, you're not going to have it.
You're
Yeah.
going to be depleted.
Yeah. And that reminds me of Romans 15:13. I love this. Now may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you believe, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. So it's the power of God. Hope is a big part of joy. That
Yes.
and the only way that we can have hope is through, this says, that we're filled with joy and peace, and that produces hope. And we definitely need some of that.
And I love how it says overflow. So it's not
Yes.
just to the fill your cup to the top level, it overflows. That's a
Yes.
lot of joy.
I like to say that we just splash it out. So I'm so full of joy, or I'm so full of peace, or whatever it is, that I'm just splashing it because I'm so full it just splashes everywhere I go.
That's a great image.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I was just going to end with, I just want to make that point. We don't create it, that it's a fruit of the Spirit. It's what
Yes.
God produces in us. And that verse says, as we believe. So as you come to him and say, this doesn't look joyful, but I'm going to believe in who you are. I'm going to believe that you are good and that you turn things into good. And so that's how I can walk in joy.
Yes. And you could do the same thing even if it is a good day, even if things
Yes.
are good. You can still recognize his grace in that,
Yes.
in the
Yes.
goodness of the good.
Count them.
Count
Yes.
them.
Yes. Love it.
So to summarize, this definition is joy is recognizing God's grace in everyday life. And I'm going to give you another question to think about. What stands out to you about joy?
Yeah.
And then dive into some scriptures about it.
Yeah. So we hope you're taking some notes, that you have a pen, and that you can write some of these questions down and think about them later, or push pause and do it right now.
Or come back and do it again. Okay, so I'm going to give you a free tool in this session to help you start recognizing joy, and that will help increase joy for you this holiday season. So I'm going to give you some questions. So now this is a part where you probably want a pen and paper to write these down and just take some time to reflect on this and, find a place, be still, and just reflect on this. This first question is, what do you want the holidays to represent for you this year? So this is that intentionality. It's not the expectation, it's not the Hallmark expectation, but for
Yeah.
you, just as Michelle shared, holidays were now different, and she discovered what it would represent for her in those years. And then what would a meaningful, joy-filled holiday look like for you this year? So we first began with what do you want it to feel like when we started this? Then what do you want it to represent for you? And now what do you want it to look like?
Oh, that's a good progression. Yeah.
So think about, when you felt most joyful or peaceful in past seasons, or what does joy with Jesus look like for you this season? And I love that you talked about the Advent candles,
Yeah.
and they weren't. They didn't have to be these big fancy candles. You went to Dollar Tree and got you little candles, and they were just as powerful.
Yeah. And it was beautiful. And to say, how do I see God in this? I have a friend who recently had an experience where she said that God was inviting her, find me, find me.
Oh,
And so that's a great question for us. Where is God in this? How is God inviting me to experience joy right now?
it's a wonderful question. I love how he's inviting.
Yes,
It's
always
like being
inviting.
invited to a Christmas party.
He says, come to my party. It's awesome. My joy party. Yes.
Now, after you spend some time reflecting on those questions, create a joy statement for you this holiday season. Just a simple phrase or reminder of what joy means for you this season.
Yeah.
And this is just to help you stay focused on what matters.
Yeah. And we write them down because it is, we were talking about experiencing joys, all your seasons, your senses. We write them down because we're seeing it, we're touching the paper, like we're connecting with it. That's why we write them down. So we encourage you to do that.
And if this is you get stuck in this process, no worries. Reach out. We
Yeah.
have some examples we can share with you, and we can help you walk through that to discover what's the statement for you. What is your joy for this holiday season? And then place it where you'll see it when you need it most.
Okay, I love this one because I've been doing this for years, placing things when I needed reminders of things. So I'm going to share some of my weird but effective placement of reminders. First one, y'all don't laugh, but my first one is the toilet. So there's a
Oh,
couple
I'm so
options
gonna
here.
laugh.
There's a couple options. I've literally taped them on the lid. Or if you're lucky enough to have where you sit and there's a wall in front of you or something in front of you, literally put it in front of you. We've all gone to the bathroom stalls where there's something posted right behind the stall. We all sit there as women and read what's in
Yeah.
front of you. So put it in front of you on the toilet. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I visit many times a day. That's one of mine. What's one of yours, Danelle?
So I just had a thought as you're
What?
explaining that. Like, what if we did that for our kids too?
Yes.
A joy
Yes.
statement on the toilet or wall for our children.
And everyone reads it and enjoys it.
Yeah.
I like the way
Yeah.
you think. Yes.
For me, I love putting these reminders on my screensaver for my phone. And I
Yeah.
have it set up where every time you lock it, it changes.
Okay.
And so I have different reminders that pop up every time I turn on my phone. And it's because the phone is always with me and in front
Yep.
of me.
Yep.
And it's amazing how many times. when I'm getting in my head about something and I go to turn my phone on and boom, the perfect
Yep.
reminder shows up.
Yep. And if somebody wants to do that and they don't know how, on the coaching session, we can coach you how to change your screensaver so that you can actually use this tool.
Put it where it you will see it the most and it will pop up when you need it the most.
Yeah. My other little sweet one is I like to put it on my pillow. So as I make my bed, I'll have my little card or whatever I'm doing, and I'll put it on my pillow. And it sounds really corny, but every night when I go into bed, it's just, oh yeah. And we need to be carrying those kind of thoughts as we go to bed and go to sleep so that we are resting in joy and resting in good
Mm,
things.
resting in joy. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
experiencing joy even in your sleep.
And
Yeah,
I love the power of sticky notes. I'm a sticky note
right.
person,
Yep,
so I also have many around me at my desk right
yep,
here, posted everywhere, um, for me to see when I need it the most as well.
yeah. Put them in your car. If you're in your car a lot, put them on your steering wheel or on your dash. But remind yourself to invite joy into your life. Remind yourself what God says about joy. It's a powerful thing for us to transform our mind to a lifestyle of joy.
All right, so this understanding of joy, think about how this is now going, understanding joy more. How does this shift the way you approach the holidays?
Yeah,
And just, I want to encourage you, remember, joy is awareness, awareness of good, recognizing God's grace in everyday life. It doesn't have to be perfect, it can be imperfect.
yeah, yes. And so we're very excited. This is why we're doing this video, is because we have prepared 3 coaching sessions to help guide you through joy during this season. Really practical, really simple, and it's one-on-one. It's based for you on what you're going through and what works for you. And so we want you to understand, experience, share, and receive joy. It's so simple, but it's profound. So that's what we have for you. Danelle, do you want to say more about that?
Yeah, looking ahead at what these coaching sessions would look like. So you can choose to do coaching with Michelle or I. It's a very reasonable price. It's a killer deal, and it's
Yeah,
just limited and special, a special for you this holiday season. And so the first session, it's about, join the present, experience joy in the presence of what matters most to you. There's distractions, there's expectations that pull us away from it, but we're going to help you discover the presence of joy, what truly matters during the holidays, not
yeah,
what people are telling you that matters or your holiday traditions that matter. It's personalized. What truly matters to you. And then the next session, we're going to talk about overflowing with blessings.
yes,
So it's sharing your joy from overflow, not obligation. Just as Michelle was talking about splashing, and it's this overflow of joy. We can get caught up and committed into a lot of obligations that deplete us.
yeah,
But what if we could do that from the overflow and pour into others from blessings, but not from the pressure of people pleasing? And
yeah,
then the third session is just simply remembering you matter. So you receive the same joy and kindness you give to others. And so we're just going to walk through how you can honor your joy with compassion and grace.
So book a session. Let's get going and do it together. And we just both want to wish you